Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today we will discuss about responsible use of pesticides. This talks about how we can use our pesticides so that we are not contaminating the environment or the users of the pesticides or the consumers of the food we produce using our pesticides. Pesticides refers to any chemical product that is used to control pests and diseases on our crops and animals. Most of the pesticides we use are synthetic chemicals, and some of them are natural products used from natural raw materials. But any and all pesticides can be a source of contamination to our environment. So therefore, they all must be used responsibly. There are 5 easy steps to remember in responsible use of pesticides. Step 1, choose the correct pesticide for the correct pest and crop or animal. The wrong combination of pest and crop and animal and pesticide can cause damage to the target crop or animal and also to friendly insects and the environment, and can lead to contamination of produce. It must be the correct combination of pest, pesticide, and crop. You must be able to know the insect or the disease. If you cannot be able to know this pest, then you need to seek assistance from an expert. Talk to any one of our CKL field staff or animal health specialists in the field. They would be more than willing to help you to identify your pest and also to help you to identify the correct pesticide to use in order to manage your problem. Step 2, remember to read the label very carefully before application of that pesticide. The label contains a lot of information that will help you to best be able to apply the pesticide without contamination of the environment. Always ensure that the pesticide is registered with PCPB and the label will have a registration number from PCPB. If the pesticide does not have a PCPB registration number, then that pesticide is not registered and it is against the law to use such a pesticide. Also check the commercial name and the active ingredient which is in the pesticide. This information should be clearly on the label itself. Take some time to go through the safety instructions which are on the back of the label. These instructions will guide you on the best way to use the product for minimal contamination of the environment. It will also give you some safety instructions on what to do in case of emergency. Finally, on the label, check the toxicity class. At the bottom of the label, you will find a colored band. This color will tell you the toxicity level of that particular pesticide. Class 1 is red, meaning danger or extremely hazardous. Class 2 is yellow, meaning harmful or moderately hazardous. Class 3 is blue, meaning caution or slightly hazardous. Class 4 is green, meaning caution or unlikely to present acute hazard. You will also see some small pictures at the bottom of the label, known as pictograms. These ones will also guide you on how to use the product to minimize risk to yourself and to the environment. Step 3. Use the correct spraying equipment. If you're using a knapsack sprayer, make sure that the equipment is properly maintained. There should be no leakages at all, and it should fit comfortably. Make sure that it has the correct volume so that when you are doing your dosing, you are not underdosing or overdosing. Choose the correct nozzle for the job at hand. For example, if you are weeding, you should use a flat nozzle. If you are spraying to cover the crop, then you can use a round nozzle. If you're spraying your animals, you can use the nozzle that covers the animals well. Also, remember to use the correct protective equipment when you are spraying so that you can protect yourself from contamination. This should include an overall with the correct material which would protect your body from contamination. And this should include a covering for the head. You should have gumboots to protect your feet, and you should also have gloves to protect your hands. Also have a mask which should protect you from breathing in the pesticide, and also have goggles to protect your eyes. Wear them properly so that you don't risk the pesticide entering through the hands or the feet. Remember, the overalls should be on top of the gumboots and on top of the gloves. They should not be tucked in. Step 4, use the correct spraying technique. Avoid spraying against the wind. Use the correct dose, never overdose or underdose. The dose is indicated on the label. Always observe the pre-harvest interval and the re-entry interval, and also the withdrawal period in the case of animals. Finally, after spraying, ensure that you warn others not to enter the sprayed field so that they do not contaminate themselves. Finally, in step 5, dispose of your empty pesticide containers in the proper manner. This is extremely important. Any empty pesticide container, bottles, and so on should be first triple rinsed. That means you rinse them 3 times as you pour the rinsate back into the spraying equipment and spray around the crop. After triple rinsing, then you should puncture the containers so that they cannot be used by anybody else for any other purpose. When you have finished puncturing, then put them in a secure place like a drum which is well labeled so that they can be ready for collection by the proper authorities. Remember to keep a record of all the empty containers that you have disposed. Those are the 5 easy steps to responsible use of pesticides. Remember, never store your pesticides with animals or in the house. Store them in a fireproof container at all times and always under lock and key. Also, keep records of applications that you apply. Familiarize yourself with a list of those products that have been banned by the PCPB. Remember, food safety is our collective responsibility. Usalama wangu, jukumu langu.